Immediately Mr. Kanu finished taking his plea, the prosecution counsel Shaibul Labaran told the court he was ready to proceed with the trial. He added that he brought 2 witnesses to testify against the defendant and necessary equipment needed to prove their case is ready. Lead counsel to Mr. Kanu, Michael Zekume, told the court that he had on Tuesday evening filed a 43-page preliminary objection for the charge to be struck out without the matter proceeding to trial. On his part, counsel to the federal government argued that Mr. Kanu's 2 applications were not ripe for hearing, stressing that he would require time to go through them so as to be able to respond. In essence, he argued that the business of the day could not be allowed to be truncated by the application. In a brief ruling, Justice Nyanko noted that since Mr. Kanu's first application is to challenge the propriety of his trial, as well as the competency of the charge against him, the court ought to hear it first. As for the second motion on issue of bail, Justice Nyanko said she does not want to talk about it, at least not at this stage.
The plea has been taken and the prosecution is ready to go on. All our gadgets is already, they are ready, all our witnesses are already in court, but we are ambushed by an application for bail and indeed another application seeking to quash the charge this morning, which borders on the jurisdiction of the court. And the court, in its usual magnanimity, acceded to the fact that those applications need to be taken before we proceed.
Donkey hide remains a highly sought-after commodity in Asia. It particularly serves traditional medicinal purposes in China. The high demand for the commodity in that part of the world makes the donkey hide trade a very big business in Nigeria. Donkeys are killed in their numbers, with their hide processed for export to other climes where they are highly needed. But the indiscriminate killing of donkeys and export of their hide is frowned at in the country, as the trade requirements for such activities include putting in place modalities like ranches for their replacement. This is to prevent the livestock from going into extinction. Despite several warnings by the quarantine authorities that the public desist from illegal trade in the commodity, the activities have continued and some Chinese have now been arrested.
I'm talking to you now. Some Chinese persons have been arrested in respect of that, and they are under police custody. The necessary investigations are going on, and the outcome you will know at the end of the day. It is bad, and it remains bad, and we do not encourage anybody to enter into the trade.
Those still involved in the donkey hide business are being warned to learn from the Chinese nationals' arrest example, as anyone found wanting would be made to face the full wrath of the law.
The Convention Against
Once this plenary was an unusual one, the Speaker had barely read the correspondence from Mr. President when some members across party divides converged on him. President Muhammadu Buhari is seeking timely passage of 3 bills, including that on proceeds of crime.
And the need to continue to increase Nigeria's global profile, I hereby request that the National Assembly kindly consider and eventually pass the best possible version of the following bills: the Proceeds of Crime Bill, the Whistleblower Bill, and the Witness Protection Bill.
For more than 15 minutes thereafter, the lawmakers argued in low tones. Then the Speaker announced an executive session. About 20 minutes after, the doors were thrown open and opposition lawmakers attempted a walkout before they were prevailed upon. The Speaker skipped items on the other paper and moved straight to the recommittal and consideration of Section 84, Subsection 2 of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill. Chairman Rules and Business Abubakar Fulata moved the motion.
House resolves to commit Section 84, Subsection 2 of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2021 to the Committee of the Whole for reconsideration.
The Speaker then gave a synopsis of their legislative efforts, read the amendment, and members concurred.
I need to state categorically that what was adopted, what was considered and adopted by the House was only one clause.
Rivers State lawmaker Awaji Inombek Abiante is unhappy that some other errors in the bill were not attended to.